to sit to the Sonic developer session. Quite exciting.
Yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog developer.
Oh yeah, childhood hero, baby. Some people have Hendrix, some people have Martin Luther King. Me and GD,
Sonic the Hedgehog.
So if we can broadcast from inside, we will let you know. We will do so, but we very much doubt it. We've been stopped by the camera gorillas all morning trying to broadcast stuff. But we'll have a go. Here we are now, entertaining us.
And yeah, before we get cracking, we've got a trailer of his new game show, single player video.
That's cool. It's pretty awesome. It's proper old school, isn't it? That's cool.
There you go, that's some of the ninja moves you can do. Obviously you are best known for Sonic the Hedgehog, but before that game came out, what games did you work on first before Sonic?
またソニックのですね、大成功でその中さんのお名前を不動のとする前にですね、お作りになったゲームについて教えていただけますか。
ソニックの前になるとですね、まあオリジナルタイトルみたいなものに行くと、まあファンタジースターの1とか2とか、なんですかね、まあ異色物でアウトランとかスペースハリアーとかグルスンローストとか、まあ一番最初に作ったのがガールズガーデンで、これもまあオリジナルタイトルなんですけども。
Well, before Sonic, I made the Phantasy Star Online 2, and out of converted games, I made Space Harrier, Outrun, Ghost, Spy vs. Spy, and so on. At the very first game I made was called Girls Garden.
And a string of classics listed there from like way back in the day. But I mean, let's look at Sonic. Such a familiar character now, such an iconic character. But the original game made a great impact when it came out. And what was the idea? What did you want to achieve with the very first Sonic game? Where did the concept for it come from?
まあ、ゲームを作っていったのが、まあソニックの誕生であります。
Well, the original idea of Sonic came from a test program that I made. One day I thought about a new character which doesn't get blocked or stopped by enemies. In other words, a character which doesn't stop the progress of the game when encountering enemies. I then came up with a brief idea of character which used to be a rabbit who rolls forward and tackles enemies and keeps running. He doesn't stop. And that later became Sonic.
And having achieved such success at Sega, how difficult was it for you then to leave and then set up a new studio? And are you enjoying the freedom, as it were, of running your own development studio?
Well, it was indeed a difficult decision to leave Sega. I really liked the company and enjoyed working there. And yes, I do enjoy working at my studio very much. One of the main reasons I left Sega was because I felt that I was getting a little bit distanced from the actual game making. But at my studio, I can really work with my own game, so this is exactly what I wanted.
Great stuff. We've got images behind us of the game, of your latest game, Ivy the Kiwi. We also saw the trailer at the start. In your own words, can you tell us about the game, please?
ゴールまで導いてあげて、お母さんのところへ連れてってあげるというのがこのゲームです。
Well, Ivy the Kiwi is an action game set in a world of picture book. Its main character called Ivy, which is a little female kiwi bird, who got separated from her mother. She cannot do much on her own, apart from keep running. And she cannot even climb a small gap by herself. So you, as a player for this game, is a sort of god, or a guardian, who helps Ivy to reach her goals by drawing vine on the picture book, which Ivy can run on it.
And given the nature of the game and the stretching and the moving and drawing of vines, was it obvious that it was always going to work on the DS and Wii, or did you consider other platforms first for it?
Well, Ivy the Kiwi was originally developed for Wii platform. We found out that the Wii's pointing device is quite ideal for this game, so we originally made a Wii version of this game. And we then decided that we could do the same thing on the DS using the touchpad. That's why we chose this platform, Wii and DS for this game.
Sure. Now, one thing that's puzzling me is it's not just simply Ivy the Kiwi, it's Ivy the Kiwi question mark. What's the question mark for?
I actually wanted you to be wondering why. When you complete games, you normally see ending movies and stuff goes at the end. But when you complete Ivy the Kiwi, you will be able to read his picture at the end. Then you will find out why you see this question mark in the title when you complete this game. So please try hard.
Oh, you big tease. Looking at Japanese gaming development, there's a lot of debate about the state of game development in Japan. Recently, Capcom's Inafune-san said that he sees that Japanese developers in general are 5 years behind their Western counterparts, and the games they're making just aren't good enough. I just wonder what your thoughts are on this.
Yes, you could say that Japanese game developers today are behind the Western competitors in terms of technology. But at the same time, Japanese developers can still come up with new game ideas and styles that are very much different from Western counterparts. And I also think that Japanese developers are catching up to the West in terms of technology too. So I do agree with Inafune-san's comment on Japanese games developers to some extent. The belief that Japanese games development has its own strong areas to equally compete with Western counterparts.
Now, you're obviously no longer at Sega, but they continue to make Sonic games. I wonder what you think of the Sonic games now since you've left them.
そうですね、 聞かれる質問なんですけど、実はあまり詳しく見ていないんですけども。
Well, since I left Sega, I don't really follow the series too closely. But I believe there are many more things that Sonic can do. So I'm very much looking forward to future Sonic series. I believe in Sega and the Sonic team as well. So I'm sure that they will continue making fascinating Sonic series ahead.
Good stuff. I'm interested, of all the games you've ever made, do you have a personal favourite?
I've been involved in many games so far, but I must say it's still Sonic 1. That was a title which made me realize that I could do something to attract people around the world, so I must say it's Sonic 1 for me.
Excellent stuff. I'm going to bring you guys and see if you've got any questions. The most inspirational figure in video game development?
I must say it's Super Mario Brothers and Mr. Miyamoto, which inspired me the most, and I don't think it's just me. I believe that game and himself inspired many other creators in the world.
I think that's probably very true indeed.
Hi. Just a quick question about the concept for Ivy Kiwi. You mentioned how Sonic the Hedgehog, the concept behind that was come up with. I'm really interested to find out how Ivy Kiwi came about.
Well, this inspiration came from my private life, actually. I had my very first son born last year. And at that time, I became so attached to my little boy and always wanted to care about him. And I somehow wanted to convert the feeling into the games. That's how I got inspired for this game.
Oh, that's lovely, isn't it? Gentleman over there, please.
I wanted to ask you about one of the games on the Sega Saturn. I know you probably get lots of questions about Sonic and Knights. But I wanted to hear what you thought about Burning Rangers, one of my favourite Saturn games, because I know back then it wasn't too well received and was quite hampered by the Saturn hardware. Do you have any fond memories or anything you'd like to share about that particular game?
I'm not allowed to mention too much about Saturn, but the Knights for me was the very memorable game designed for Saturn. And I'm hoping that I can do something for that sort of fantastic platform once again in the future.
Other than the Sonic games, the games you were involved in were quite experimental, well, the original IP. With Kobe, I noticed that the games are also very experimental, with Let's Tap and Ivy introducing unique gameplay. Are you tempted to build upon are you tempted to build upon an existing idea and do several sequels to expand upon an idea, or are you mostly driven by original, unique ideas?
The problem, of course, he wants to come up with new idea and establish new IP. But at the same time, I like trying out the new things. So at the moment, I have no plan to come up with a second IP and third IP. That is the same with the Knight, which I made before. Many people ask me if I'm planning to make a second version or third version of it, but I decided to leave it, to move on and continue making something new.
I was wondering about a game like Ivy and what your thoughts are about core console developers moving across into mobile platform games.
I think all the new technologies, including Android and iPhone, are very fascinating as a game creator. But probably it's quite a small team and I haven't had time to think about what we can do or using those new technologies.
Actually, on that note, I mean, are you looking at PlayStation Move and Connect? Do they excite you?
Yes, I'm very much excited about those new developments, and I do enjoy working with new hardware. So I'm hoping that I can create something exciting using those new technologies. And actually, I worked on 2 games which unfortunately didn't come out, but those 2 games were using those 2 technologies you just mentioned.
Oh, really? Okay. They didn't see the light of day then. Okay. Interesting.
2D game in quite a 3D dominated era. Are there things you prefer about making 2D games to sort of 3D games? And I mean, a lot of people contribute sort of the perceived downfall of Sonic games to the fact it went 3D when the gameplay didn't really translate to 3D very well.
I still believe the fun part in the benefit of the 2D games. And in a way, this idea that Kiwi was the message to those old school 2D side-scroll playing game fans. So although 3D thing is quite fascinating for me as the game creator, I still think that the 2D has many more things to do.
How do you feel about Sonic and Mario now appearing in games together?
ソニックとマリオが今オリンピックのね、一緒にプレイしてます。
実はソニックとマリオを一緒に共演させたいなと思ったのは、実は僕が思ってですね、せはない。
It was actually my idea, and I was the one that approached Nintendo about it. And when I was a kid, I thought it would be fascinating to see the two heroes, get together and play together or play against each other. So that was exactly what I wanted. So I don't feel any funny about that. So. There you go.
What's your view on Sonic the Hedgehog 4? Are you proud to know that it's returning to its original gameplay format?
I think that Sonic 4 is a really good one. And at the recent E3 show in Los Angeles, I couldn't stop watching this little girl playing Sonic 4 because I really wanted to know if the kids liked it or not. But Sonic 4 is really good as the for entire 2D games world. And I'm sure they will do quite well.
Is that they always have a very distinctive visual style, from Sonic Max all the way through to Let's Tap with the Tap Runners and Ivy. I was wondering how important is a strong visual style to you as a developer?
I really appreciate the positive comment from my fans on the audio included in my previous titles. I do love music myself, but I can't do much myself, so I normally invite a team of sound team. And I tend to use different sound team for each title, so to surprise the fans. So audio is very important for my previous title, and it will be very important for my future title as well.
Now, just before the session kicked off, Mr. Naka was busy scribbling away at the front there before you all came in. We've got to give away 5 signed, very swish, Ivy the Kiwi books here. But to give them away, quite an interesting concept. Apparently this is something that happens in Japan. Mr. Naka-san would like to play rock, paper, scissors with you all. Whoever manages to make it through to the end wins the game, wins the book. So can you all stand up, please? Yeah, he's going to do this, and I want you all, no cheating please, you're going to hold your hands up high when you do it, and if you get it wrong, or you draw, then you've got to sit down. We're going to see how long it takes, hopefully we'll whittle it down. So, starting, over to you.
Okay. Yeah.
So, do you want to? Okay.
じゃんけんぽい。
Awkward.
パーでやってるだけです。パー、only paper. Only paper.
Only paper stand up.
Okay. Okay. じゃあ、next time. じゃんけんぽい。Only dog.
Only scissors, please. Oh, sorry.
Only dog.
Only
rocks still standing. Only rocks still standing.
じゃあ、next time. じゃんけんぽん。Only scissors.
Only scissors still standing.
Scissors 1,
2.
Just 4 left. 3.
じゃあこの3人にやりましょうか。じゃあもう時間かかりそうなので、はい。じゃあその3人の方、はい。あ、いいんじゃないですか。
3人の方、はい。So yeah,
So that's something that's really interesting. Collect your book from Mr. Naka. bidding on eBay straight after the show.
4 people? あ、4人いますよ。4人。
Oh, 4. We'll be 4, we'll do one more down.
It's better if you get this than for the last one. Fight it on.
Congratulations, right, we've got one more left, so this is really like we're going right down to the winner now, so let's you all one more to win, concentrate guys, come on. Here we go. Over to Mr. Naka.
Yeah. じゃんけんぽん。
Oh! Straight away.
Paper. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. じゃんけんぽん。Only rocks. Still only rocks.
Sorry, that's the scissors. You're out. Sorry.
じゃんけんぽん。
He changed his.
Any scissors to them?
じゃんけんぽい。
He's changing his.
That's right, you're right. So we're down to the final 3 now, I think. So
Sit down.
3 now.
Sit down.
3人前に来ていただい
If
て。
you're a rock, actually, sir, you're out. If you're a rock, it's just the sort of paper that's left.
じゃあ2人で来
Two
てい
people
ただ
left.
い
We're down
て。
to the final 2 now.
いや、で2人でじゃあじゃんけんしてくれたんですか。
Yeah, we want you to come to the front now. So, final boss battle, if you like.
Cheater.
So, can you do it against each other? There you go.
じゃんけんぽい。お。
So cheaters do prosper.